Man, I was just starting to think that this was going to get good with the last issue, and then this just let me down so much. There's no payoff. Oh, like I should have felt good when we got to the end of this book, and I didn't. So let's just start taking a look at it. Like, okay, first let's start with the cover. Everybody on the internet has been making fun of the fact that Wolverine has a body built like a G.I. Joe action figure with a complete torso twist that's independent of his hips. If you look at this the right way, his spinal column is over here, and then it's also right here. So he has completely broken his spine to be able to pose like this. Or maybe it's just his mutant powers. I don't know. I don't know how that piece of art got past the editors, man. Then we start off really strong, actually. The first couple pages of this were so wonderful. I had so much fun. It's the setup for the fight that we witnessed at the beginning of the other issues. Wolverine sets a trap with his helmet, puts some obvious traps out there so the Predator can avoid them. They get in here, they clash a little bit, and Wolverine goes to lead him on a chase because Wolverine has plans. Wolverine's like, all right, I got to make it look like he's winning. I got to lure him in, make him think I'm like a wounded animal. That way he goes into like finish him off, coup de grace mode, and I can use my natural cunning and beat the ultimate hunter, proving, who is the ultimate hunter versus who's the prey. This should have been a slam dunk. It absolutely should have been. After that initial section, we jump back to what was showcased um, at the end of the last issue, which was Wolverine in Japan. The Predator shows up, and then they don't actually get much of a fight because it gets interrupted by hand ninjas and the Predator leaves. And it was super. There's no payoff. Why even show that encounter? There's nothing there. It's a complete nothing burger. It's as if somebody went and took a bite of air and was like, ah, yes, I'm going to talk about how delicious this air is. It's just air. Sure, it's the air in New York City and it's full of car pollution and coal smoke and stuff and sweat and, still urine, trash bags. But that's not really delicious. What are you doing? Then we jump over to a sequence I really have problems with. All right, so the Predator shows up at the mansion. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is there's no universe unless this Predator knows that Charles Xavier is a powerful psychic. There's no universe where the Predator is gonna cap Charles Xavier with his death laser. Until he decides Xavier's worth hunting. And I should point out something from the fight back here. The fight, I told you, gets interrupted by hand ninjas. And the Predator leaves because the Predator doesn't want to fight, Sensei, and he doesn't want to fight the ninjas. He's there for Logan. So now the Predator is attacking Charles Xavier's mansion and threatening to kill Xavier. This is so out of character for a Predator. Not only that, he starts indiscriminately blowing up the mansion, potentially killing people who aren't his prey. And that whole bit there feels really wrong. Plus, the art in that section is also kind of lackluster compared to the art in the rest of the book. From there, we go to the final showdown between Wolverine and the Predator, and that's okay for what it is. But we had two intermezzos there, two sequences where it was like this should have been something really cool, and it just kind of fell flat. And that totally deflated me when I got to the final section to see the showdown at the end between the Predator and Wolverine. This whole miniseries should have been a slam dunk, and I would argue that it started off being badly formed. It should have been one time period per issue. So we start off in the past where they first meet. We jump to I don't know, Vietnam era Wolverine or something. The Weapon X team. I almost said Task Force X, and I was like, wait a minute, that's DC Comics. Then we can jump to Wolverine in Japan. Then we can jump to Wolverine in at the mansion in the 80s or whatever, and then we can jump to their like present day battle in the 2000s. Like each book should have just been like a single time period, and it should have just been nothing but them fighting each other. I don't understand how you take what should be a big dumb action movie and then you just completely fail to give it the action. At least that's how it felt when I read this book. I don't know. Other people probably disagree with me about that, but those are my feelings. Those are the ways I'm feeling about this book. I'm super let down by it. It was a waste of my $5.99. I think the first issue was like $8.99 or something like that. The series has not been worth reading. I got kind of hyped because like the Weapon X issue and then the last issue had some pretty good stuff in it, and I was like, yeah. And then this just kind of it didn't work. All right, that's enough. That's enough being grumpy. You all take care. Have a great one. And hey, maybe you liked it, and if so, I would like to know what you liked about it because it did not feel right to me. Take care. Bye bye.